Okay. So, hi Rahul, welcome to Niyati's English Express, and I'm so glad to have you on my channel. Would you mind giving a brief introduction of yourself?
Sure. Yeah. So first of all, thank you so much for having me, and it's a really pleasure to be here with you. And if I tell you about me, so my name is Rahul Doon, and I'm living in Jaipur. And last year I graduate, and when I graduate, I went for a job. Actually, when I was pursuing my college, that time I was also working. And when I left my last job in last year, that time I went for an interview in another company, and there that was an MNC, that was an MNC company, multinational company. So the work would be like, talking to foreign people or, foreign clients. So I had to, speak in English, but that time my English speaking things or skill was so bad at that time. Or so from there, I got inspired and to learn this language, and I started my journey. So in July, or I think June, July, I started making random vlogs on YouTube to improve my English, and from there I've been continuously learning this language and making content. And recently I started a job as well as. So I think
Okay,
2 3
so
days back.
okay, so it's been 2 or 3 years since you started your job, right? How?
No, just 2 3 days back I started another job. Yeah,
Okay,
back then. Yeah, back then from July 2024 to almost, now I've been just making content on YouTube. I wasn't doing any
okay,
other thing.
all right. So you were a full-time YouTuber, and then you switched to the MNC company. So you're a software engineer then, I suppose.
No, I'm not a software engineer. I did BSc in my college. Okay, the major was zoology, botany, and chemistry there. And yeah, and I'm making content, and I started doing job just 2 3 days back. I went for a job at that time last year, as I said, but that time I got rejected from that company
Okay.
because of my poor communication English. Okay, and from there I started learning this language. Got it?
Okay, now I get it. So that's why you felt the need to learn English.
Yeah, I not feel like from there I started learning this language last
Right,
year.
right.
Okay. Yeah, and yeah, that's my how my English journey, English speaking journey started.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm just learning this language and sharing my experience, like what I'm doing, how I'm learning, and all things.
So that's how you got the passion to learn English, or was it like ever since childhood or something like that?
No, not like that. But I every time, when I watched videos of foreign people, and that time I felt good. I felt, and I that time I was saying myself that one day I'll speak like them. So yeah, but last year, the time when I started, doing it properly or practicing.
Right. All right. So were you in English medium or were you studying in Hindi medium before that?
Yeah, no, I was from Hindi medium, so my school medium was Hindi.
That's surprising because you speak so well, and I love your pronunciation of words. No,
Really?
seriously.
Back then?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Back
No,
then,
that
like people were.
actually that's the reason why I contacted you. I felt like you are a very experienced person when it comes to this field. Like it's quite surprising to know that you are from Hindi medium. That's
Yeah,
very
thank you so
impressive.
much. Thank you so much. But back then, I think 2 3 months back, people were saying me, Rahul, everything is good, but your pronunciation isn't that much good. So, yeah, I started like 2 3 months back, working on my pronunciation. Because somewhere, I was using some bad, wrong pronunciation. So
Okay.
yeah, but it's a process. We cannot be a fluent person, or it happens by
Right.
the time.
Right. I think there's always room for improvement. And I don't know
Mhm.
how you used to speak back then, but right now you are like speaking like 10 of 10. You're pretty amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So,
Yeah, so
yeah, what were you
okay.
saying?
Yeah, I'm saying like, when I started learning this language, that time I am making videos or content regarding English. But to be honest, like I don't want to be like a teacher. I don't like to teach people. But everybody they are watching my content. They want to improve their English. That's why I'm making content regarding English. Otherwise, I would love to talk about spirituality and how we can improve ourselves, about self improvement and all things, how we can make our life better.
Talking about mental health and stuff like that, I think that would be amazing because that makes your channel unique. You can talk about those things in English and people would love to watch it because everybody is making conversational videos these days, but like only there are only a few people that are like talking about other things like you are. So that's what makes your channel unique. And you know what? Just do the things that you want to just be real. And yeah, that's why I approached you.
Right.
Like your channel is very catchy.
Yeah, thanks, Niyati. And yeah, there like I'm not making conversation videos nowadays, but I want to make. And I'm also making content related to self improvement or spirituality sometimes, like manifestations, like whatever I'm experiencing or whatever I'm doing, I make. So that's the thing. And yeah, that's all from my side. Like I'm learning and continuously I'm just trying to be more fluent. I'm using actually nowadays, I'm using ChatGPT more. Whatever coming in my mind, I'm just using like where I should improve myself. I told everything my ChatGPT, like always always remember this thing about me. When we sign up with our account, we can let it know everything.
Right.
So yeah, so it's really helpful like a friend. So that's the thing.
Yeah, it is. I also
Mm.
share a lot of things with ChatGPT. When I don't know where I'm stuck at something, then ChatGPT helps me, like, this is where you can improve. And the best thing is that ChatGPT doesn't judge you. You can be a
Mm.
real self. You can tell
And
ChatGPT anything. Yeah, go ahead.
mm, you're right. And the thing is, you know what? It's also a big thing to find a suitable partner for practicing our English. Because everybody we are having conversations, or we can find so many people who's learning this language. But the thing is, if you are practicing your English with a person who's not like you, who's not at your level,
Hmm.
under your level, or higher than you, that time higher, if that person is higher than you, that time it's good for you. But if you are practicing with a person who's not like you, who's not having that much fluency, that time it won't help you. So sometimes we have to deal with deal, or I would say not deal, but we have to speak with people who's not
Right.
that much fluent,
Yeah, I
so
agree with you.
won't help us.
Yeah, sometimes with the people that like get stuck more often, it can feel like they are delaying your progress because you are not learning anything from them. But then what I thought is like you are getting the practice anyway, right? If you're practicing, you are going to get good.
It's okay sometimes, but I'm saying like you won't get better. Like you are practicing, it's okay, but the thing is, I think, how can I say, but the thing is, you won't learn new words from that person, and you won't accelerate your English, I think. As I felt, I'm feeling with thing.
I think, yeah, you're right, exactly. Because a lot of people have a limited vocabulary. So you don't really learn, new idioms or new phrases or new vocabulary.
So, what do you think about using new advanced words? New words is okay. Synonyms are okay, but when we are using advanced words or idioms, that time, like I felt this thing. Like every time when I used any idioms, people they won't got that thing, and sometimes I felt like, Rahul, yeah, you shouldn't use advanced words to communicate with people. So it's also the thing. Like we cannot like yeah, like in my
Yeah.
case, okay, I want to tell you something else. So in my case, like I want to improve my accent. I want to speak like Americans because it will help me in my job. Okay,
Hmm.
when it's time to talk to US clients. So this, every time when I try to speak like native speakers, I felt like it's good when it's time to speak with US people, USA person or American people. But if I'm having conversations or I'm making content on YouTube, that time if I'll speak like Americans, people will feel like, oh Rahul, you are just demonstrate. So
Okay.
sometimes it happens.
So who's the one that's got actual problem? The native speakers, like the US speakers tell you, or the people around you?
Around me, like
Right. Right.
Indian
Okay.
people, like all the people who's learning this language, or all the my some people in my surroundings, they feel like why you are faking it.
Okay,
So
yeah,
that's
I get it. You're talking about the accent, right? The
accent.
accent.
So, yeah, accent.
Exactly. Okay, so I'll tell you my story. Like not a story, just a small case. So what happened is like I have two friends from the US and they are around like same age as me. And so these girls, like they are born in US and they have that accent, right? So I tell them like, can I use that accent with you, like the American accent? And they're like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Because I want to practice, like, it really fascinates me to have a like a cool accent. I can do the US accent, but I cannot do the British accent. Like that one I find very tough. Because I think
Mm.
they don't pronounce the T word like they like water, they pronounce like water instead of water.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, right, right. Yeah, got it. So, yeah, and the thing is, watching Netflix or watching web series, it's really helpful for us. When
Right.
I started, like, I never watched Netflix before, but in November I started watching, and from there I've been watching so many, web series, and I got to know so many things. I start narrating their story, in my way, and I'm learning so many things. I every time I post that video or any web series, and I start imitating like them, so it really helped me
Yeah, I
to get.
completely agree with you. I also watch. Have you watched Friends? It's a US
Yeah,
TV
I've
series.
watched, but not that much. I watched a web series, Never Have I Ever, and another was what was that? Like it's a kind of robbery things there.
Never have I ever. Is it the Maithili Krishna Kumari? What's the name of that Indian girl? Is that?
Devi Vishwakumar, Devi
Yeah,
Vishwakumar.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that also I've watched. Yeah, it's really
Mhm.
good.
Because that is American, web series, and
Right,
yeah, their accent is so cool. Yeah, so
right.
that's.
I agree with you. And truly, it would be so good to find an Indian that would be willing to practice with you in American accent because not everyone does that, right? Like people are going to judge you, like, why are you being like this? You're an Indian. But yeah, the accent truly fascinates me and it's amazing. So that's why I always like every day for like at least 30 minutes, I talk to my friends from the US. That really
Mhm.
helps me too.
That's
So yeah,
good.
you
That's
should
good.
also not hesitate. You know what? Just don't care about what people are saying. Like, you know what? I think they're kind of jealous, maybe, because you're able to do the things that they are not able to do. No, trust me, that's what
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
it happens sometimes. It happens, but the thing is, they feel uncomfortable, at that time. If somebody is even, this is the same thing. Like if a person who don't know English, and when he, try speaking English for the first time, so
Hmm.
how would the reaction is like the same thing is happen, when we
Right.
speak in American accent, people start like, oh, no, 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 you don't need to speak like Americans. So but yeah, all the time, to be honest, like whenever I spoke in with that like accent, I felt crazy. I felt like, oh, Rahul, you are not from here, you are from somewhere else. To be honest, like I'm living in a village. My father is a farmer, and every time when a person from countryside, they want to be in a city,
Hmm.
big cities, and
Right.
so that's also a thing that I want to be like them. So that's all.
Okay. I get it. The only thing I would say is like keep practicing, like keep the if you want to change the game, have the US pronunciation, don't care about other people because I don't. And then my friends also tell me like, why are you talking that way? Like like they
So
like therefore that's the
yeah.
R you stretch it out. Yeah, so I use it like that's become my habit. And then they tell me like don't do it. And I'm like, you have to deal with this. I
Okay.
am going to talk that way.
Wow, wow, wow. Okay. So we will practice together.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, cool.
You're the first person I found who is like willing to talk in that accent because everybody else in India is judging me so much.
Mm-hmm. Right, right. You're right.
All right,
Wow.
so
Yeah.
yeah, did
I
you
think we
want to
should.
add?
No, nothing. I say like the session was so good, and we should wrap it up. I think.
Yeah, definitely. I had so much fun talking to you, and I'll see you
Same.
tomorrow then on your channel, hopefully.
Sure,
All right.
sure, sure, sure.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you
take
so much for giving some time and truly appreciate it. So grateful that you gave me the opportunity. Thank you so
same
much.
here. Okay,
Bye.
Niyati. Bye. Good night.